Assalamu alaikum. Now we shall talk about the reality of Kalma Tayyiba. Kalma is recited by Muslims and Qadianis also recite the Kalma. Have you ever heard the Kalma of the Qadianis? Qadianis read the same Kalma, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Then why is Qadiani not a Muslim despite reading the Kalma as same as a Muslim does? Can someone who reads the Kalma can be called as a disbeliever? Now, I want to make it clear. Understand one thing here. If a person recites the kalma but does not believe in any of the basic beliefs of Islam, like oneness of Allah, prophethood, hereafter, Hajj, or Qital, then such a person will be a disbeliever despite reciting the kalma. This proves that the speaker of the kalma can also be a disbeliever, and there is a reason for that disbelief. Now you can understand better how do the Qadianis deceive Muslims by using Kalma Tayyiba. Now the picture you see in front of you looks like a masjid, and apparently these people look like Muslims. They have their hats with them, and you can see a few females wearing hijab. But be aware, this is not a masjid but a place of worship for Qadianis. These people are also Qadianis. The word masjid is also written to deceive the Muslims, and this is a very remote area of Africa. Now you should decide for yourself, can a common Muslim see all of these things and understand who these people are? He will say, or she will say that they are Muslims. What are their beliefs and ideas? This is the real deception of these people. A common Muslim will not be able to understand these things. So, if there is no awareness about it, it becomes impossible to avoid it. One of the reasons for the difference between Muslims and the Qadianis is that the Qadianis use the name of Islam to propagate their religion. They perform worships like Muslims and use Islamic rituals, while their beliefs are completely against Islam and are disbeliefs. They are not related to Islam. This is causing damage to the religion of Islam. Now, a very important reference I will present to you is from Kalmatul Fasl. Kalmatul Fasl is the book of belief, one of the book of beliefs of Qadianiyat, and its page is 158. It is written that we don't need a new kalma because promised Masih is nothing separate from the Holy Prophet. As he says, Sara wujudi wujudahu, my being became his being, and he who differentiates between me and Mustafa has not seen me and not recognized me. Thus, promised Masih is Muhammad Rasulullah himself, who has come again in this world to spread Islam. Therefore, we do not need any new kalima. Yes, if someone else had come, then we may have required it. Now you can see that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has referred to himself as Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, and the believers and his believers, the Qadianis, also think the same. Now, why do Qadianis read the same kalma as Muslims? We can see the truth from the book of the beliefs of Qadiani cult, the reference just I have presented in front of you. This book is written by Kalmatul Fasl. This book is written by Mirza Bashir, M.A., son of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani also gave this individual, Mirza Bashir, the title of Kamrul Anbiya. So he has this individual, Mirza Bashir, has a very high status in the Qadiani cult. Now, the following points can be taken out with respect to the reference I just mentioned. The promised Masih means Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. Sara Wujudi Wujuda, this is the writing of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, which is taken from Tazkira. Mirza Bashir is presenting text at this point. He's saying this means that Mirza Qadiani says that my body and Muhammad's body are one and the same. Nauzubillah min zalika. This is also written by Mirza Qadiani, which is taken from Tazkira, in which Mirza Qadiani says that whoever differentiates between me and Muhammad has neither seen nor recognized me. He writes that Allah has promised that He would once again send Khatamun Nabiyyin to the world. In this passage, Mirza Bashir Ahmad has insulted Allah even though Allah has not made any such promise in the Holy Quran. One more time means that Allah will send Khatamun Nabiyyin to the world. Again, Here Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani is being taken as Khatmul Nabiyyin. In this passage, Mirza Bashir Ahmad is placing an accusation against Allah, even though Allah has not made any such promise in the Holy Quran. One more time means that Allah will send Khatmul Nabiyyin to the world again. Here Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is being taken as Khatmul Nabiyyin. This text proves that the Qadianis believe that the Prophet ﷺ was born twice in the world, once in Makkah and the second time in Qadian in the form of Mirza Qadiani. Now the Qadianis present their case with the help of a verse from Surah Jummah, it's verse 3. They say that it is evident from the verse Akhirin minhum. However, in this blessed verse, the Prophet ﷺ did not explain the belief that the Qadianis take for themselves. The Sahaba did not take the meaning of this blessed verse which Qadiani took. Commentators of 1300 years did not take the meaning from this blessed verse which Qadianis took. From this blessed verse in 1300 years, the Ummah did not form the belief which is the belief of the Qadianis. This proved that the entire Ummah is on one side and the Qadiani descendants are on the other side. The interpretation of this blessed verse is that the commentators have explained the prophethood of Prophet ﷺ is not only for Arabs but for the Ajam, non-Arab people. And Sahaba have also taken the same meaning and they believe in the same explanation of this verse. And Mirza Bashir writes that the promised Masih is Muhammad himself, who came back to the world to preach Islam. And he writes that we do not need any new kalma, because if someone else had come in place of Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, it would have changed. Now, a Qadiani asked a question to Mirza Bashir. The question was that as the kalma of each messenger is changed by the words of the messenger. The first part of the word is La ilaha illallah. The first portion of the kalma is La ilaha illallah, which means Tawheed, remains in its place. And the second part of the word, which mentions the name of the messenger and his special attributes, gets changed with the change of the messenger. Like La ilaha illallah Ibrahim Khalilullah, La ilaha illallah Musa Kalimullah, La ilaha illallah Isa Ruhullah, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Now this Qadiani said that we should also read a new kalma because we consider Mirza Qadiani as a prophet. But why do we not read a kalma, our own kalma, but we read the kalma of Muslims? In response, Mirza Bashir wrote that the entire text, just I mentioned above, and I gave you the explanation, and replied that we would have needed a new kalma when a new prophet would have come. Now that Allah has sent this Muhammad again among us, we do not need a new kalma. We will read the same kalima that Muslims read. Now my question for you is that if the Qadianis had changed their kalma, could they have associated themselves with the name of Islam? If the Qadianis had changed their kalma, could they have misled the common Muslims by using the name of Islam? If Qadianis had changed this kalma, would they have been able to spread the word of their oppression to the whole world that Muslims are oppressing us? If the Qadianis had changed their kalma, could they have used the name of Islam to achieve their nefarious goals? If the Qadianis had changed their kalma, could they then trap the members of Muslims to their fraud, to their sedition? The answer to all of these questions is no, because the common Muslim doesn't know about the detail that why Khatmun Nabiyyin, the word Khatmun Nabiyyin that we use and we believe in, refers to Prophet ﷺ. But when a common Muslim shall talk to a Qadiani, he will simply say that we recite the same kalma, yet he is deceiving the said Muslim. That according to him, Khatmun Nabiyyin doesn't mean Prophet ﷺ, but he believes in Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. Not only that, but he will believe, and he believes that Mirza Qadiani is the second Muhammad. So this is the reality of kalma recited by Qadianis.